This NBA season is going to be an absolute killer. Watch the whole video to find out why. Today on Triple Double Nation, we're going to be looking at why the 2021-22 NBA season will be the best ever. Here we go. The NBA offseason is over and the preseason is already in the past, which means that the 2021-22 season is upon us. The regular season tipped off on October 19th as the league celebrated its 75th anniversary. After a season that's endured countless postponed games, empty arenas, and heightened restrictions due to COVID-19, the NBA is hoping that the atmosphere at games can take a step towards normalcy this season. We saw just how impactful fans can be throughout the postseason as Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks clinched the franchise's first title since 1971 on their home court against the Phoenix Suns. Now, every other team in the league will look to dethrone the Bucks this upcoming season, which will overflow with storylines after tons of player movement in the offseason. Chief among the most active teams were the Los Angeles Lakers, who revamped their entire roster centered around the move to bring Russell Westbrook to LA, and for other teams like the Golden State Warriors, getting back injured players will be the key to their success this year. First of all, the greatest hype for this season is obviously the fact that it came after so long. Like, we literally had to wait almost more than a year for it, so we are all expecting some great games out of it. The wait also has been beneficial to the players as well, since they had so much to train and better themselves for. We don't know which player might just come out on top, since they all have been working hard. The curiosity is just killing me. The second biggest reason for this season's hype is the players, some having new teams, some having to play after so long due to some injuries. It's just all amazing. So, let's focus on those players first. First off, we have Anthony Davis. He's coming back in his absolute full form. The injury bug bit Davis and the Lakers pretty hard last season, as the superstar forward missed half of a possible 72 regular season games before returning ahead of the postseason, where he suffered a groin injury in LA's first round loss to the Phoenix Suns. After a full offseason of rehab and recovery, Davis will look to bounce back to the form he showed during the 2020 NBA bubble, where he won the first NBA title of his career. During this season, another player to have an eye on is Damian Lillard. Dame is coming off of a season in which he averaged 28.8 points, 7.5 assists, and 4.2 rebounds for the Blazers, leading them to the West's 6th seed and away from the play-in tournament. In the postseason, Lillard upped his production to 34.3 points and 10.2 assists per game, including an all-time performance with 55 points and 10 assists in a Game 5 overtime loss. Despite Lillard's heroics, Portland was eliminated in 6 games, prompting an offseason headline by a coaching change, and the Blazers faced many questions in the 2021-22 season. But with Dame on the roster, they'll be good enough to compete every night, and I'm sure we can get some good players from him as well. We have to agree, the past season really had some huge injuries, which impacted the games of many players and teams alike. Just like that, the Nets were dealt an awful hand with injuries this past season, but Harden averaged 24.6 points and 10.9 assists and 8.5 rebounds over 36 regular season games with his new team. Had he not gotten injured seconds into the Eastern Conference semifinals, the series may have had a much different outcome. With that in the past, Harden and the Nets' eyes shift forward, where they will again be expected to come out of the Eastern Conference. We'll get a much better look at him next to his superstar teammate Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, a trio that has just scratched the surface of what it could become. And oh my goodness, I can't wait to watch this trio in action if Kyrie Irving is able to play. I'm literally super hyped. Plenty of uncertainty surrounds Philly this upcoming season, but there's no question surrounding the ability of Embiid, who signed a 4-year, $196 million contract extension to remain a Sixer for the next 6 seasons. The MVP runner-up, Embiid has made his claim as the league's most dominant player loud and clear. After averaging a career-best 28.5 points per game during the regular season, Embiid continued his dominance in the playoffs, and despite tearing his meniscus in the first round, Embiid still played and he averaged 30.4 points, 12.7 rebounds, and 4 assists in the Sixers' 7-game series loss to the Atlanta Hawks in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Moving on, we've got Luka freaking Doncic. I cannot say anything. It's gone from, quote, we're running out of words to describe him, to, quote, we've run out of words to describe him. Seriously, 3 seasons in, Luka's wizardry isn't even a surprise anymore. You just can't help but sit back and laugh. The 22-year-old continues to grow in his ability to dominate the pace and direction of the game, as evidenced by his playoff performance, in which he nearly led Dallas to the second round with averages of 35.7 points, 10.3 assists, and 8 rebounds over 7 games. If history is any indicator, his encore will be even more impressive. The hype just goes on because we also have Steph Curry this season. He'll turn 34, but Curry's not showing any signs of slowing down. The greatest shooter of all time is coming off of a season in which he averaged a career best 32 points per game, which was also pretty good for his second ever scoring title and a third place finish in MVP voting. At the time of this recording, the ink was still drying on Curry's landmark 4-year, $215 million contract extension, which made him the first player in league history to sign 2 contracts valued at over $200 million. Golden State went 0-2 in the play-in tournament last year, but we had the addition of 2 talented lottery picks and Curry's splash brother Klay Thompson returning to action. Curry might have an easier time leading the Warriors to greater heights in 2021-22. These players' skills just keep getting better and better in my opinion, and the season is going to be the golden season. The reason is that we currently have many star players playing with a lot of experience as well. I mean, the biggest hype can also be LeBron James. Despite missing 25 of LA's last 29 regular season games, LeBron was full go for the postseason, where he first led the Lakers past the Warriors in the 7-8 play-in game, and then averaged 23.3 points, 8 assists, and 7.2 rebounds in 6 games against the Phoenix Suns, as he was eliminated in the first round for the first time in his career. The fact that LeBron is even in consideration for the top spot in the league ahead of his 19th season is pretty incredible, and he has plenty of motivation to reclaim the throne. With an almost entirely new cast around him, James is primed to make some noise. Okay, I'll stop mentioning these players, but it's just, we have so much to look forward to this season. It's so hard to predict which team has the upper hand this season, because it's like they all have some trick up their sleeves to change the game. And the last most honorable mention is Giannis Antetokounmpo. We all loved him last season after turning in one of the most dominant championship performances in NBA history, playing through a knee injury that caused him to miss 2 games in the previous round. Giannis led the Bucks to their first NBA title in 50 years, with averages of 35.2 points, 13.2 rebounds, and 5.0 assists in the finals. He delivered a signature moment after moment on the biggest stage of them all, capped off by a 50-piece in the title clincher. Now, that's all. I mean, I can't even stop right now. The season is going to have the most amazing moments ever, and it's obviously going to be worth the hype as well. With all the weight and all the amazing players coming to the court to play, it's going to be a sight to see. A glimpse of this excitement has already been seen in the preseason games, how well the teams performed, and I'm going to have to end the video here, but keep these players in mind because I know they're going to absolutely rock this NBA season. So guys, that's it for today's video. Let us know what you're most hyped for this season in the comment section down below, and who you think will win MVP. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. We hope you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.